evidence that Earth was going to be destroyed, and our only grim consolation was that there was nothing we could do to stop it. The neutron star collided, and millions of years of our history got wiped out in an instant. That's why they developed the Rebirth Project. Everyone on Earth fighting for survival, and a lottery among the fittest to see who gets to live thousands of light years away. I won, and that's why I'm here on this ARC ship. I'm a pioneer, one of millions, and our job will be to rebuild civilization in this new solar system. I've been frozen for the entirety of the trip, and now I'm ready to embark on my journey. Our journey.
Alright, so this is my alt account. A couple of new things. I'm going to jump on the soapbox real quick. Complete change for what we're doing. Trying a couple of different things today. The first thing is I up my bit rate. We're streaming at 6,000 bit rate instead of my normal 4,500. We went from 720p to 1080p 60 frames. There's a reason for that. The reason is we're going to start putting stuff on YouTube. I have the account. I've had it for a very long time. I haven't done it. So I'm going to take this VOD. So, hello YouTube. Welcome. All right. I am Plum Yeti. I stream on Twitch. We stream 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, Tuesday through Saturdays. Please come join us. I'm going to start uploading these over there. I noticed there's a lot of stuff that wasn't there for Dual Universe. A lot of new stuff. It seems like most of the videos are about 10 to 11 months old. There's a few new ones, but they're not the they're like PvP. It doesn't really cover the stuff that's going on in the game right now. So I do have 2 accounts for Dual Universe. Well, I guess 2.5. Because I have my brother has one, and I help him with it, trying to set up settings and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm starting a brand new game, a brand new account. I'm recording that. We're going to move it to YouTube. That way there's something from right now. Now, there's a couple of things I usually go over later in the stream. I want to go over very early today. First of all, there'll be a link down in the description for my Refer a Friend account and for my Zolo affiliate account. You do not have to use either of those links, but I will tell you, if you're going to play this game and you do not have an account, use somebody's Refer a Friend account. You don't have to use mine. I'm perfectly okay if you don't. I'm fine. I'll get my rewards eventually. It'll take me time. I'll be okay. If you have another friend that's playing the game, you're watching this to try to learn to see whether or not you want to play the game, that's fine. Get your friend's Refer a Friend account. Make sure you use a Refer a Friend account when you start. Hey, the reason I say that is you'll see in a minute. I'm going to log in. I should have 2 million talent points. This is a brand new account. This is the first time I've logged into it. And I should log in with 2 million talent points that I can pick and choose what I want to do. So if you use a Refer a Friend account, what you do, talk to your friend or use the link down below. Use that, go connect to the website, make a new account, right? And then when you go log in, you're going to go to your account settings, and it should show in your Refer a Friend account, if it says you can be recruited at the top, basically click the link again, try to get your account. activate. If it doesn't work, contact support or something. But do not spend money on that account. Don't buy any game time until you have that account linked. If not, it should show a picture of your friend's avatar, and then like a little arrow and then your avatar, right? So saying that you've been recruited. So you really want that to happen, because you get 1,000 you get 1 million talent points. It's basically a week's worth of experience for nothing. You also get a couple of small storage boxes. You get a storage hub. Get a special, a car, and you get a skin to cover a cockpit and make it rust. But the 1 million talent points is a big thing. Second thing, there'll be a link to Solo. If you use that, I get a small kickback. 5% of your purchase prices for your subs and stuff will come back to me. I'm gonna buy DAX with that. We'll give those away on the channel. So if you want to come over, we'll be giving away DAX once they're released, stuff like that, and trying to give back to the community and have people come and enjoy. What else? So I stream on Twitch. You'll see down in the bottom right corner there's a thing there for Extra Life. We stream for Extra Life. That's what we do. Everything we do, we'll put the Extra Life link down there too. If you want to go check it out, please go check out Extra Life. It is amazing and awesome and great. You may hear a random voice. He pops in. He's usually in stream with me and helps me a lot. That's Pete. Pete is
Hello.
great. Hey Pete. He sits in the background and helps me. He keeps me on my toes and makes sure that the channels move along and the stream is doing well. You'll hear other random noises from my bots in the background. This is obviously we're live streaming. I plan on uploading the entire VOD. We'll see how YouTube does. YouTube does decently, then we'll start working on other things for YouTube. But right now, with that, beginning choices. This stuff doesn't really matter. Your skin color, like this is just whatever you look like, right? And then RGB colors. We obviously we do a purple and white type of theme. And you can see it updates on the side over there for us pretty quickly. Trying to get a good purple color for the missive is a challenge. And all this stuff. Yeah. The skin tone, yeah. So this little mouth. Skin color on like that little window on the mask that it's rarely see. Yeah. So basically, it's just your mouth, and somebody has to get really close to you to even be able to see it. But you can set skin tone to any color you want. So we'll go ahead and continue that. It says view and validate character creation, and you can change this once you get into the game. There's a screen you can go in and change it. Okay. All right, your platform outpost. This is your beginning, basically what the game gives you to start. So this is just mostly an aesthetic choice. As far as I've been able to tell, it is it's just aesthetic. Most of the things that you're going to get are the same. They're just arranged differently. There's a few cosmetic things that are a little bit different. So originally when I started with a pilot. I was like, oh, it's a runway. I never used a runway. It was a parking lot. So it was kind of cool the way it's set up, but not super great. The villa, that one. So I'm just going to we'll look through here real quick, see if we see anything cool. The dojo is kind of cool. It looks like the dojo from kind of like the Matrix. mod outpost, ultra modern. I mean, that's painter home. Daily pauper fish growing new housing powers. So some of them, I think Pete started with. I'm gonna go with a tryout. Just so we have something new. Pete started with a cozy originally. And just know that once you kind of choose this, it like I said, it doesn't really matter. It's just whatever kind of aesthetic you want your beginning to be. I just want to kind of click through some of them because this is something else I noticed is we couldn't find blockhouse. Yeah, I think this is the one. I think the other guy that was close to us started with that one, the blockhouse. And then, so I was probably either go with the station. Station may be good. I think I might do that one. I might do the station, I think. A little more utilitarian. It's got a radar. I'm going to do the station. All right. The same thing with your speeder. This is a Nova Corp speeder. You do get one of these for free if you go into the game, go to Alioth, which we will be doing here very shortly. The racer, so both of these first ones, you can get those in the game. So you can go to Alioth and they'll give you the blueprint for free. This is a car I started with originally. And then this is the Cursor Perfect Blend of class sport, Cursor Functional Speeder, and class vehicle. So I may start with that one. So this is the car. I call it the car, but I think I'm going to start with this one this time because my other account I started with the orange car. So I'm going to start with this one. So once you do this, you can't change these two selections. So once you actually launch the game, these two selections are locked in. Now, that doesn't mean you can't build the other stuff. It's just you have to find a blueprint for it and then try to talk to one of your buddies that had started with that, and then you could build it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and continue because honestly, those choices don't really matter. So this is Haven. So if you start on Haven now, what it doesn't tell you is it just says like, hey, here's this map that has all this cool stuff on it. Here's these little blue markers that nobody knows what they are. I'm going to tell you what these blue markers are. All right, so if you zoom into the map and you see this blue marker here, if I click on it, it's going to tell you this territory is owned by affiliate. It doesn't tell you what it is, right? It tells you nothing about what that tile is. This tile is basically a shuttle location. And it has a market, it has a ship dealership, and a shuttle. That shuttle will take you to either Alioth or to Sanctuary. Okay, so basically, and whatever number you choose here, it will take you to the same number there. The problem is I can't see what number it is. Are you in game, Pete? On Haven, which tile is the Market 6?
Which one's Market 6?
Yeah, which tile?
Give me a minute. Yeah,
because it doesn't actually tell me which market it is. So it doesn't matter which one you choose, as long as you choose one of the ones with the little building on it, because once you get to Alioth, there's teleporting pads, and you can go from basically 1 through 10, and you can bounce from 1 to 10 back and forth on the teleporting pads. So as long as you get to one of the little buildings, those are 1 through 10, and then that will allow you to get back and forth. The reason I'm looking for Market 6 specifically is because
There is a second image zoomed out so you can line up your view of the planet. I believe you're already staring at it, though.
That looks like that may be it. Does it show you? It doesn't show you the because if you click on it, it'll tell you which hex it is. So you have to click on the map.
Oh yeah, 88136.
Yeah. So I did find it just by pure luck. So this is Market 6. So it's in tile number 88136. So now if I zoom into this, you'll see all the red areas. That's where other people are. Now, normally I would say you want to go out here by yourself, especially on like Alioth or someplace like that. You want to go someplace by yourself so you can get all the tiles around it. Because we'll get into it later, but there's a bonus for being able to get tiles around you. So if you have one tile, you get basically 100% of the resources from that tile. If you're able to buy a tile next to it, then you'll get 110%, and then 120, 130. And so you can get up to 160% of your mining by owning multiple tiles around the same location. Now with this one, you'll notice for the most part, like this is about as close as I can get. But I'm not going to take that one. The reason is because if you can see this kind of the sand dunes and where it's kind of flat and bumpy and stuff like that, I want to go out here. I'm going to probably go to like this one because that one looks nice and flat. And having flat is good. So I'm going to start here. It doesn't really matter. Like I still just a hop and a skip from Market 6. Because, oh, that works fine. I'm going to go there. All right, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to say start here. Once you do this, that's it. You're not moving this. You can't choose another tile on Haven. You only get one tile on Haven. That's it. So all these choices are permanent, and you only have one character. You can only do one thing.
Cinematics.
Oh, good. That's helpful. Let's try that again. So, speaking of which, the game is in beta. Another thing I wanted to go over right now, there is a post by Novacork. Novacork is the development team behind this. There was a post made a month ago, something like that, about a possible wipe, and they're discussing whether or not to wipe. And from my understanding and everything that I've read, it's just a discussion.
Congratulations on being chosen for the
All right,
first
so
program. Soon, you will join countless others who have also arrived here in the Helios system aboard the Nova. Like them, you will now be known as a Novian.
so that I hit tab, and tab
Your lander
gives me
ship prepares
this
to
screen.
descend. Move your mouse to take in the full view of the breathtaking skies around you. Below us, you can see Haven. This is a protected area where you can safely begin your journey. Looking around,
So
you will see a pilot's seat. Pilot the lander by looking straight at the seat, then press and hold the interact key.
So we're just basically straight above our thing right now. So there is some discussion right now, and it's only a discussion. It's whether or not there's some issues with the economy and the player base, and not the players themselves. The players are amazing in this game. Like, honestly, they're amazing. If you find out you're a new player, they'll just dump things on you. They're great. They just want you to come play and enjoy the game with them. But the game is really short right now on players because a lot of people are afraid there's going to be a wipe, and they basically, whether it's a protest or not want to put effort into it, if there's a wipe, a lot of people have kind of suspended their accounts. Now I'm just moving around my cursor, doing this stuff. If I hit this thing, it'll bring up this stuff here. And then this is all my wallet, all this stuff. So I can actually go to my wallet and look. I should have my wallet. Yep. So it says daily reward. That is not your daily reward. Your daily reward's 150,000. So I started with that 500,000 extra is because I activated two-factor authentication. Highly recommend activating two-factor authentication. Oh, and my alt is the purple Sasquatch. I cracked myself up. All right. Go ahead and hit F on this bad boy.
Activating final stage rocket.
So here's what you're launching me? That's a rocket. What are you doing? That's a planet. All right, control is your air brake. If this thing has air brakes on it, does it have air brakes? It does have space brakes.
I am here to guide you through your first steps in this universe.
You're gonna burn my ship up. You're going too fast.
Your lander is now entering Haven's atmosphere.
Wow, that was some crazy brakes.
So perfecting your pilot
so control activates your brakes to slow you down.
Hold the brake to slow your descent. A successful
So press and hold in the beginning. You'll be able to change that later in the game.
Not so much.
Spacebar will cause you to go up. C will cause you to go down. You know, this brake doesn't seem to be doing anything, Pete. And you see, so everything that's around us, so that is Market 6 right there. But this stuff here, everything that you see, all these little buildings around here, everything except for that is player made. See if I can keep from destroying my ship when I land this time. Can't move it at all, so that's kind of sad.
Deploying territory unit. Congratulations, you have just landed your first ship. Press and hold the interact key to exit the pilot's seat.
So, and the jittery, jumpy things kind of happens when the ship sometimes, if they're, especially with landing gear, they'll kind of do that sometimes. All right, so now that we're in here, the first thing I'm going to tell you to do, hit escape. Okay, let's hit escape. Hit escape. We're going to go to our graphics. Mine are already lowered. So my computer specs are above average. So because I stream from the machine, this is my machine back here. It's a i7-5960X running at 4.4 gigahertz, 64 gigs of RAM with a GeForce 2080 Ti video card. Even with that machine, I've lowered down my thread count. Okay, my laptop is a 7700 HQ, 32 gigs of RAM with a GeForce 1060 video card in it. I run it 2 threads on it. Okay, if you're playing the game and you have a normal computer for gaming, basically an i7, with 16 gigs of RAM and a decent video card, I would recommend probably 2 threads. If you have a high-end machine, with a 2080 Ti or a 3080 Ti and 32 gigs of RAM and a massive processor, bump it up to 4. You can try a little bit higher, but I would bring your number of threads down. This game is very hungry when it comes to RAM, very hungry when it comes to processor speed. Okay, this game in its original configuration. Now, granted, it was really warm in my room that day. I was having some trouble with my air conditioner and some other stuff. It was very warm in my room, but this game is responsible for the only blue screen I've seen on my computer in years. And I lowered the thread count down, and it seemed to work better. I haven't had any more problems with it. The volumetric clouds, you can turn those on or off. Obviously, I've turned off motion burst, blue bird, depth of field, chromatic operations. I've turned all that crap off. The lens effect, I turned all that crap off. Dynamic shadows, I turned those off because dynamic shadows always cause problems, especially if you're having frame rate issues. The environmental shadows, off or medium, those are your only choices. So I turn on the environmental shadows because the game looks really weird without them. The voxel quality, I've left it at 1.4. If you're having a little bit of difficulty, you can turn it down. I think my laptop I'm running at like 1.2. And then I'm running at 1080p. The other thing, I'm running in windowed mode. My laptop, every time, if I run in full screen, when I alt-tab out of the game, it basically would freeze my laptop to the point of, like, my CPU would spike completely maxed out. I couldn't move my cursor. Like, I would have to literally force shut down my laptop and reload it. So I changed to windowed, and that solved that problem. And me personally, I have my music turned all the way off because I stream on Twitch, and I want to upload this to YouTube. So the music you hear in the background is Pretzel Rocks. Let's play the 65. Okay. So that is you want to make sure you do that. Now we'll go ahead and do this. It says, "Welcome to Haven. Long journey in airship. Must be real good. Stretch your legs. Where you're standing belongs to you." So if I open my V key, so you'll see this like honeycomb around us.
Showing your territory with your lander in the center. This parcel is about 1 kilometer wide. In the future, you will be able to claim more land, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Walk around using the movement keys. You can run by holding the shift key while moving.
This bastard stole my rocket. There was a rocket in here, and I took it.
Forward at greater speed by using your jetpack to hover. Good work. You're doing well so far, but there's still so much to see. Let's continue.
You can walk, you can hit shift to run, and you can double tap W to basically use your jetpack to, and it's infinite.
And have a spectacular view. When you found the perfect spot, free the mouse.
If we look on the map now, you'll see if we zoom in, you'll see that this one's green and the rest of them around us are red, and then this guy here is purple. Purple are owned by affiliate, red are owned by other players. And then, so this is our land. So what it's telling us to do is go find someplace with a view. It doesn't really matter. I will tell you, you want to find someplace that's flat. I like going up here to a little bit higher, but it didn't really matter. Honestly, we probably want to just get closer to this edge over here. So if we come up here, then we have a view of the station.
With the map screen, you have access to a menu on the left side of your screen. The menu also lists shortcut keys. Click on Inventory to continue.
And if you notice the hotkey here, you can also get I, K for crafting, J for the market.
Begin by using a terraforming tool to flatten an area for the outpost. Locate the highlighted flatten tool. Double-click the icon to equip the tool. Exit the free mouse mode.
So the other thing you want to do, so the way the flatten tool works is you go to the location of the thing where you go to the spot where of the height that you want, which is, say, if we wanted to lower everything to this one. So I'm going to left click and hold here. And then as I left click and hold, it's going to basically get rid of or lower everything to that. There's an option that you can have of keeping the dirt you're picking up. Don't know of a reason to keep the dirt you're picking up, but you can do. And then what will happen is you notice here in a second, a little bit further, and it's going to start bringing the dirt up. So, like if I run out, but it will only move it so far. Like if, like it only moves it basically like basically one voxel. So it'll only move it like a meter or so. If you get too far digging in too far, it'll start leaving a layer above it. So we'll just flatten this top out here real quick. And you don't have to do this. It just makes it easier to place your house. That's all I'm doing right now is making it easier to place my house. So that my house doesn't look like garbage when I place it. If you don't care about that, you can drop your house. You can actually keep your house, I think, if we want. Which, you know what, I may do that. I may just say screw it. Well, no, because I don't have a territory unit, and I would have to spend like 500,000 to buy a spot, and then I wouldn't know where the hell or what I was playing. Sorry, talking to myself. I could technically just run over to the spot over there real quick. I could jump on the shuttle. We could go to Alioth, and we could just go live on Alioth to start with, and deploy our house on Alioth. The problem is in order to do that, I need a territory claim unit, which I do not have. I don't have it. Now, what I will tell you is, my other account, I have a bunch of extra ones, but that doesn't really do you a good amount of help. And seeing as how this is supposed to be, how do you do what you can do? Kind of want to go a different route with this. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to build this out. Come on. I got more stuff to do than just flatten dirt today. And so the whole refer a friend account, we'll get into that in a second. But like I said, it is very, very important that for your account and your gameplay, I highly recommend finding somebody's refer friend account link. If you don't have one, or you don't know anybody else that's playing the game, has found it, you're wanting to play it, that's fine. There'll be a refer a friend account down in the link. More than welcome to use it. But please, for your use somebody's account. It gives you a week worth of time. It's amazing. All right, so
As the name implies, the flattening tool flattens the ground, pointing your reticle down.
and if you skip the tutorial, it doesn't realize that you skipped pieces of it.
You should see if there is enough room for your outpost. Open your inventory again. Locate the outpost blueprint in your inventory. Double-click the icon to equip it.
So if you start without a refer a friend account, notice I have this free static core. I have this these two containers, this container hub, all that. None of that stuff is there. You'll have the GP Mark 1. No, I'm sorry, you won't have that one. That's a refer a friend account bonus. The Nova cursor and the outpost station. You'll have these two items, and you'll have the fuel. What is your, how much RAM are you running with Flip, and what's your processor and video card? From my understanding, the biggest thing is the RAM usage. Like this thing right now is using, like I'm using 26% of my processor right now. I'm using 70% of my video card. Oh wait, it's not showing me. Oh, I'm using 12 megabytes of, or 12,000. So I'm using, that's not right. That's maybe that's just that part. I don't know. I'm very confused. I do know that when I'm playing on my main account and I'm traveling, especially when you travel, it starts loading a lot of stuff in RAM. So we're going to go ahead and left click on our outpost. So you notice it has structured blueprint no DRM.
Notice the deploy tool creates a preview for you.
So if you're trying to figure out like, okay, what's this going to look like, right? I want to use my cursor like this.
Experiment where you think the outpost.
And once I do that, like I can see where that's going to be, and then I can kind of move this thing
Walk
around.
around the preview. Do you have enough flat area for your outpost? You can also rotate your preview by holding the rotate key and scrolling with the mouse wheel. On the bottom of the screen, notice that the flatten tool we were using before can be accessed using a hotkey marked on the toolbar. Press this hotkey now. Great. If you need to, flatten what might be missing. When you think you are done, use the deploy blueprint tool. Once again, use the arrow keys and rotate to put the outpost preview where you want it. You can switch back and forth between the flatten tool and the blueprint deploy tool using the hotkeys until you are satisfied.
But do know that if you
When you are
do
ready
that,
and the
it
outpost
resets it.
is
It releases
fully
it from the
on the
location you
screen,
have it.
click to deploy the blueprint.
So this is basically just the voxels only. It shows you what voxels you have. It doesn't show you the elements inside of it. So once you're kind of happy with where it is, maybe you don't want to turn this in. So that way I can look out my front door and see the output. So once you're happy with it, left click. So, and I can, like right now, it only shows me purple Sasquatch there. And I'm sorry, it's my alt, Plum Yeti, Purple Sasquatch. It's funny to me. 32 gigs of RAM, RX 580 with my processor. I'd have to check again since I don't remember off the top of my head. I did get more RAM since I first tried build. So yeah, the 32 gigs should make it better for us. I took my laptop from 16. It was having trouble at 16 gigs. I put 32 gigs in it, and it ran it a lot better. And my laptop is it's an i7 7700 HQ, so it's a laptop version, with a GeForce 1060 in it and 32 gigs of RAM now, and it runs okay. I have to turn some of the settings down, but it runs okay. I'm not running at bare minimum settings, but.
Welcome home. You have deployed your outpost. Let's go explore it.
So the first thing I would recommend doing with this, if you ever want to be able to move this thing.
The button gives you information about that item or material. Try it now.
So it's just kind of walking you through. So container S.
Isn't that helpful? Now go to a door. Aim your reticle at the door and press the helper button again. Notice that the helper gives a lot of information about the door, such as what key to use to open it. The helper button is a great way to get to know how to interact with everything around you. Now head towards the elevator at the waypoint. The elevator is an element on the floor. It should be flashing. Stepping onto an elevator and pressing the jump key or the crouch key will send you up or down. Great! Elevators can be linked together for multiple floors. Some outposts have more than 2 elevators linked together. Experiment with the elevator you are standing on by going up or down to explore your outpost elevator setup. When you are ready, go to the next waypoint. The waypoint may be above or below you. The highlighted element is called a resurrection node. Activate it with the interact key.
You can set all the lights with RGB, so if you want different colors, it's easy enough to do. Resurrection node. Make sure you set the resurrection.
You have activated the node.
And you can put these on pretty much anything.
It's inevitable that you will die at some point. Fear not. When that happens, the resurrection node can recreate a brand new you, but you will lose all your inventory. Try not to die. It is not fun. Did I mention that you lose your inventory when you die?
The only way I've really found to die so far is to be in a ship and crash it.
Such as how to extract ores from the ground. Go to the mining unit at the waypoint. The mining unit may be below you.
Look, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the tribe, my friend. So, like I said, this is my new account. I do have another account that got about a month in. Once we go.
This is a mining unit. It will extract resources from the ground, which you can then sell or use to make other things. Activate the mining unit to proceed. With this interface you can control your mining unit. Here you can see the different resource concentrations in your territory. Click on whichever one you want to mine. May I suggest starting with the ore with the highest concentration?
It's not entirely the best thing to start with. So there's a couple things we're looking at here. First of all, this thing can only do, I think, like 23 or something. It doesn't do very much. You're not going to put a dent in any of these. So
press the start button to begin extracting the ore.
It's irrelevant kind of which one you pick. Hematite is, so coal is carbon, hematite is iron, quartz is silicon, and bauxite is aluminum. So depending on which ore you need to build things, is probably the best one. It doesn't matter. Like this choice doesn't matter. You can come in and change this at any point in time you want. You do whatever you want. It's fine. But the important part is get something going so that you're building stuff so that you can sell it. Because especially in the beginning, you're trying to get enough money to be able to buy things and be able to improve your situation. So we're going to do that. We're going to go ahead and start.
Now the mining unit will drop more directly into the container in your outpost every hour. Normally you need to calibrate your mining unit periodically to ensure peak performance. To save time today, I have calibrated this one for you. However, in 3 days it will begin losing its calibration, reaching 0 in a week. Don't forget to recalibrate your mining unit. Exit this menu to continue.
So your base rate is 50 liters, so it's only going to pull 50 liters. Its efficiency is 70%. You can improve that up to above 100% with skills and stuff like that, balance. And then your calibration is how much calibration. So basically the way this works is it's taking 50 liters, it's multiplying that by 70. That 70 is then produced or multiplied by 100. He's got the math all figured out. Crazy stuff. But basic part is you want this at 100, this at 100, and this the base rate as high as you can get it. That's the higher that is, but you notice it's 50 liters. So if you look here, we're 64 out of 114. So that's how much hematite is left on this location. So if I had another one of these small miners, I could put that down, it would pull another 50 out, and then we'd be down to 14. And then you can do that for all. Now the trick is you can only have so much stuff running in the background, or you can only keep so many miners calibrated.
Here in the privacy of your territory. As a matter of course, you will need to venture out to other places in the Helios system to conduct business, see the sights, or visit new friends. Let me show you a way. Head to the surrogate VR station at the next waypoint. This is a surrogate VR station. With it you can explore other Novian spaces, take tutorials, or make money by completing challenges. Activate it to see how.
All right.
The VR surrogate projects a virtual version of you into other places in the universe. The Surrogate Pod Stations tab, the one we are looking at, has all the VR stations that players have set up so you can visit their constructs. The Tutorials tab has a number of tutorials that you can take afterwards to improve yourself. Challenges are tasks you can perform for money. They are also a great way to practice your skills in a safe environment. Let's visit a VR station. You can visit one of my museums or a player's constructs. Select anything from the list and press connect.
Okay, so a couple of things to know about VR. First, you're basically taking over a robot. Okay, your screen around, I'm pointing at the screen, but the marks around, the little white marks that are at the top and bottom of your, right here, like this guy right here, like these. If you're in VR, those will be yellow. Okay, if you're in VR, you're in a surrogate pod, you revert to basically the skills I have right now, a brand new character skills. So you lose all your skills, your bonuses, your calibrations, your mining, all that stuff. So I can't VR to you and like apply stuff to your ship. I have to be there in person. Second, anything in your inventory that you have when you quit out of the VR session, you basically kill that robot, and anything in its inventory poops. So if you go to somebody's location and you buy things and you put out a VR, it gets destroyed and nobody can help you. So you can go in here. I don't recommend going to Captain's Customs unless you want to make your computer cry. Honeycomb Central is great if you want to go see what, or if you want to go buy honeycombs. A couple of things that you can do. There's this guy here, Free Market Speeder 42. He is on Alioth though. If you go and talk to him, that was my doggo, by the way. if you go to, you have to travel there, but once you get there, then you can get, he gives you a free like ship that has, I think, 2 small containers in it. It's a good starter ship. You have to make some changes to it, as you know, while supplies last. Or we can go here, and we can go Plum Yeti Stone Go, and we can connect to that. So this way I can show you what I've been up to yesterday afternoon. And I don't have to log into that account. It's great. It's great. Glorious.
Welcome to a VR session. Have a look around. Explore. As you move around, people can see your projection, but the real you is still in the VR station. When you are finished exploring, free the mouse.
So this is if I go outside though, I may have trouble getting back in. So this is all the stuff that we've been working on. No, in VR, like you can't put permissions on elevators. So this is all the stuff we've been building. So basically, we're building. I shouldn't be able to see anything in the boxes because I don't have any permissions because I just made this character. Oh. Why am I able to take in that? Okay, gonna have to fix that, I think. I don't want to grab things. So I can't open the door?
You need me to come let you out of your base?
Okay. So for some reason I can see the stuff in the boxes. I can't take stuff out. So I may have.
We'll fix permissions off the stream.
Yeah, I may have jacked up my things. So the way this works is like here's all my ores. And then those ores go over here, and then they go up here and get refined, and they go make things, and basically goes all the way through the entire building here. And what we're making over here is we're making containers. So I have all kinds of containers to make for people. Excel containers. Here we have expanded Excel containers. Here we have uncommon military maneuvering engines. And over here we have all kinds of logic parts. Speaking of logic parts, how are we doing? 450 programming boards. Still nothing in there. Sounds slow. Yeah, laser receivers coming in, so that's good. Oh, we're making emitters now. So it looks like everything is being made. It's just going to take forever. Figure out what's supposed to be in that box. Figure out why it's not being made. And then, so once you're in here, we can run around. So these are all my ships. If you are a new player, well, actually, if you're on the stream, I can't say if you're on watching me on the YouTube on the VOD. But if you are a new player and you're trying to get in, and these are all ships that I found in salvages. And some of them are spoken for, but a lot of them, if you just kind of need a ship, I make no claims to their ability to fly. But as long as I still have them laying around, you tell me you come into the stream and say, "Hey, I'll hook you up." You just got to come get it. I may not deliver it. So shift escape, and I'm out. I'm out. Back home. What is this supposed to do? And this the other thing I want to do here. So if you go to the tutorials, so we can do all these tutorials, right? I'm not going to do those on stream unless people want to see them. But if you click on Advanced Construction Tutorial, right, and I tell it to connect, notice I'm going to get $20,000 and 5,000 talent points. you can get a decent amount of talent points by just doing the tutorials. So if you're a new player, find somebody's refer a friend account. Definitely use that before you pay for any month. If you need one, I have one down below in the description. And if you're in stream today, I have a wonderful command for that. Use somebody's refer a friend account. Do not have to use mine. I'm perfectly fine if you don't. Use somebody's refer a friend account. This is for you, not for me. The second link down there is for my Zolo. So if you do buy game time, after you've made sure that your account is tied to somebody that you've been referred, that gives me a 5% discount or 5% kickback. And then once I get a little bit of money, we'll start buying DAX and we'll be giving those away or donating the money to Xbox. And then, but that is the important thing. So you do that and you'll have those points. What am I doing now? So I have to exit the way they want. We're gonna go to Captain's Customs, just because my computer can handle it. Question mark. Captain's Customs is, oh god, it's so and that, like I said, the thing to remember is everything here is player made. Like all this stuff is player made. Everything here. Now, if you do come to Captain's Customs, you can get a blueprint. If I come and look at this thing right here, right? This is a free blueprint. Do not pick that up in VR. And you notice, like right now, like it's getting a little chunky. It's special here. This place is massive. There's a lot of voxels. It is this. If you want to stress test your PC, this is the place to come to do it.
Remember that nothing you pick up in VR will stay in your inventory when you leave. To buy or get new items, you'll need to go get them in the physical world, not in VR. To leave a VR session, press the exit button on the top of your screen.
So, like it just reiterated, do not buy things in VR. Even though that blueprint is free, if I pick it up right now, it's going to go on my inventory. As soon as I exit VR, it deletes it. And when I come back, it's going to tell me, oh, you already got one of those. The one that's next to it that, some of these things in here are $100 million, $200 million, $400 million. If you have that money in your inventory and you buy the blueprint, it will take the money out of your wallet. It will give you the blueprint on your VR with no information saying that, hey, you just bought this in VR, and then you forget and escape out, and you're done. Now, say Pete was traveling and Pete was here, and he's like, hey, I'm at Captain's Customs. Remember the ship you want to buy? I could go in, I could buy the ship in VR, I could put the blueprint in my surrogate's inventory, go put it in Pete's ship, and then I can quit out, and then Pete could bring me the blueprint back. But you have to physically have something there to bring it back, because we're a solid virtual world. Different levels of virtual. So, and a lot of places will tell you, hey, don't buy stuff in VR. Like, you're going to destroy it.
Exit the VR surrogate screen to continue. Finally, let's deploy your speeder so you can explore the planet. Open your inventory. Find your speeder blueprint. Double-click on the icon to once again there is a preview of the blueprint. Make sure the box around it is blue, and then click to deploy.
So if I try to deploy it in the building, it's just like, yeah, that's not going to work. Similarly, if I go to try to deploy it on somebody else's lane, turn red also. So we can name it whatever we want. Once again, notice this is, we're going to deploy it.
Excellent.
So
you have deployed your speeder. Now you need to fuel it up. Open the inventory again. Find the nitron fuel. Double-click on its icon to automatically equip the refuel tool and load it with nitron. Locate the fuel tank on the speeder. It highlights when you point your reticle at it. Aim at it, and
Yeah,
hold the left mouse
you have to
button
point your
until
reticle at. You
fill
can
it
point
entirely.
completely away from it. It still highlights. So you'll see whenever you see a fuel tank and you have the refueling on, they turn yellow and blink like that. Left click.
Let's
So
move
something
the
this
speeder
game,
for a spin.
well,
Target the pilot seat, then press
in my
and
first
hold
playthrough I
the
didn't
left
see.
enter.
If I hold Alt and left click, I can drain tanks. Alt is basically your remove key. So if you go into build mode and you hold Alt, it will actually remove stuff. Or if you're trying to fuel, it'll pull stuff back out of the tank. It's how you empty a tank out.
Hover controls are simple. You can turn left with the left key. Similarly, holding the right key will make your vehicle turn right. Hold the forward key to accelerate, and let go to brake automatically. Fly around a little to get a feel for it. Experiment with turns, acceleration, and slowing the ship. Have some fun with it. Here again we have the list of menus on the left. This is a map of Haven. You can rotate the map by clicking and dragging it with the mouse. You can also zoom in and out with the mouse wheel. Zoom in until you can clearly see the hexagonal tiling on the planet's surface. Each of these tiles is a territory. Your own tiles are green. Tiles in red are already claimed by other Novians. At any time, you can center onto your position on the map by pressing the center icon on the top left. You can also create a waypoint anywhere on the surface of the planet. Waypoints are displayed in your HUD so that they are easy to track. To set a waypoint, simply right-click on a point on the map and select Set as Destination. Do this now.
So, as you create a waypoint, know that sometimes clicking on the map, waypoints can sometimes be iffy. So before you start taking off and tearing in a direction, you want to make sure the waypoint's in the correct location.
Very good. The selector area on the left allows you to list your constructs, review bookmarks, and see any available warp beacons or other points of interest. To find your own constructs, here is a list of all the constructs that you own. Over time, this list will grow. How exciting! Let's finish by going back to your outpost. Right-click on your outpost name in this list and set it as your destination. Press the close button at the upper right. Exit the free mouse mode. I have one last thing to show you. Exit your speeder by holding the interact key. Then head to the waypoint in your outpost. For the next step, you will need to unequip your current tool. You can do this by this flashing screen is the outpost's objective screen. Anytime you are asking yourself what you can do next, click on this screen to find suggestions. Many experienced Novians suggest you learn about talents. Researching talents can improve your experience here immensely. Talents can be found in the section called Improve. But you are in power now, you decide.
Alright, so,
And here ends our time together. Venture out and learn at your own pace. There is much more to discover everywhere. Until next time, Novian.
alright, so a couple of things. First thing is, before you screw up your speeder, go up to your speeder, go into build mode, right click on it, go to construct, go to advanced, go to create core blueprint without write protection. So this game has DRM for blueprints that you put down. If you want to be able to, because Ophelia technically made the speeder, so if I make just a regular create core blueprint, it's going to make that blueprint, and then it's going to have DRM on it, and I won't be able to alter stuff. So if I create a core blueprint without write protection, and then I go into my inventory, right here, I click on it, it's no DRM, meaning I can put down a deer and free one and then alter it, or I can give it to a friend and they can put it down and alter. So, and you can do the same thing. And now I'll just have that if I ever need it. I can do the same thing here. Advanced, create blueprint without repetition. So that way I have it. If you just do create core blueprint, it automatically enables DRM on it. And if somebody else gets it, they won't ever be able to make another blueprint of it. Hi, can I help you? Yeah? Okay, your life's that horrible. I get it. I know, it's horrible. I promise you're going to survive. Probably. No. I know, you're so neglected. You're going to come tell everybody how neglected you are. You are not a lapdog. Oh, God, you are not a lapdog. Okay, please, Cinder. Come on, baby. Ow, come on. Would you stop it? Would you stop? Ow, you're hurting. You're hurting me. Please go lay down. Goober. All right. So the other things I recommend doing, storage boxes. If you just start with a refer a friend account, like I've mentioned several times, we're going to take this. We're going to go to our the number one key, your construct, deploy element tool. You open your inventory here. We're going to basically choose our small container. We're going to equip that, and you'll get 2 more small containers. I noticed that once you go to put stuff down, so like this stuff, there's all kind of wonky shapes. But I can use the arrow keys if I want to. And then I can kind of move that around. If it's red, I can't place it there because it's colliding with something, probably this box over here to the side, which it is. If I don't like the way that box is, I can go to my 9 key. I can do that. I can use the arrow keys. I can move it around. Hit escape, bring it back. If I don't want this box there, I hold Alt. I go back to my 1 key. And this is the default settings. You can move all this stuff around. So where I can place the box, if I hold Alt, you notice these get a yellow highlight around them. I can pick them up. So I can move stuff around. I can do things like that. It's, the game, you can make all this stuff yourself and do whatever you want. I don't think those doors close. What else do we have here? Oh, you have your container hub here. So if I go to, and then I go to my 6 key, my link tool, you notice that all these pink lines, so all these boxes are tied to this container hub. So all this stuff, including this one here, you'll notice that this guy is actually connected to it also. So that means that every hour when this thing's outputting its ore, it's actually putting it straight into the boxes. And you have to have that thing connected to a box to be able to store stuff. All right. Said I wasn't going to do tutorials. I am going to do one tutorial because it's very important. Actually, I can go in here. So if I go here, make sure you don't have a tool selected. We're going to go to improve. We're going to do talents. Talents. Okay, there you go. Mini tutorial, nearly everything you do is ability to talents. So let's do it. So we'll
Let us
look
learn
at that maybe.
about talents. Talents allow you to improve any of your abilities to make your life here in Helios more enjoyable. Open the talent window by using the quick access bar or by using the talent hotkey directly. Talents define your character's abilities. They are grouped into categories that are displayed all around your avatar in this window. Here, for example, is the mining and inventory group. Click on it. Excellent. On the left is the list of categories that correspond to this group. Click on the Inventory Manager category.
So something very important to note right now, notice that I'm accumulating a rate of 60 talents per minute. Right? So basically I get 1 talent per second right now. So this is when you, before you make any talent changes to the screen, so you're not super worried about getting it. You're if it takes you a little while to get in here, you still get those talent points. You're still producing at a decent rate. As soon as I select something, that rate's going to jump to 90. And
each category hosts several talents can be upgraded from level 1 up to level 5 by spending talent points. Each level acquired boosts a certain characteristic, described just below its name. For example, here the Nano Pack upgrades help to increase the size of the inventory by 200 liters for each talent level acquired. The amount of talent points you currently have is displayed at the top of the screen. Talent points, shown here, accumulate even when you are offline. The Invest Points button allows you to instantly train a particular talent. You need to have enough points for the talent you are aiming for. Queuing allows you to research talent while you are away. This saves you the trouble of waiting until you have accumulated enough points to unlock a talent. Let's train the first level of Nanopack upgrades. Press the Q talent button.
Okay, so a couple of things on here. First of all, I have 2 million points. 1 million points from the Fur Friend, like I said, vitally important. So it cost me 600 points to do this. So I can get all 5 packs, or all 5 stacks of nanite upgrades. So I can add 1,000 liters of storage to my pack. And I can start with that. Okay, trust me, just please, the refer friend count is very important. And then, so notice, like I said, I'm at 60 right now, so I'm going to queue this talent.
As you can see, the selected talent
Notice it goes to 9.
You can queue several talents to train one after the other. Note that dependencies between talents might exist, and you should train talents in the right order. It is a good practice to always have several talents scheduled in the queue to be able to train them without interruption. Queue talents also train when you are offline. So, make sure to always have a filled queue that spans a long duration. Take your time to review the existing talents and think about how you want to plan them out. You can become hyper-specialized or decide to be a jack of all trades. When you're ready, you can close the talent window.
All right. So it kind of said, hey, make sure, because you train these things while you're offline. All the crafting, all that stuff all runs while you're offline. My factory back at the other base for my other account is still running while I'm offline. It's still producing stuff. As long as it has materials in it, it's still producing things. This one, like, I'm still producing talents. My main account's still researching my talent points while I'm offline. Okay. Now, while we're in here, can I actually move stuff around right now? Okay. So it said to make sure you train them in the right order. You cannot train stuff in the wrong order. It doesn't allow you to. So like if I want to do nanopack optimization, right? So notice it needs nanopack upgrades tier 4. So if I choose this, and like this needs all this stuff, right? So in order for me to get nanopack optimization at tier 5, and notice it's 2.25 million. But if I do that, I queue all required, because I can't just queue that one. I have to queue all required. It puts everything in order of the way I need to do it. So the reason I'm doing this very specific reason. So now, if for some reason this is the only thing I recorded or only thing I queued, and I left the game and I went on vacation for a week, right? It's gonna suck real bad. Well, this drops back to 60 once you get here in a minute. Back out of that. So now if I go back in here, maybe it'll do it now. Maybe, I don't know. This will drop to like six a minute. Like it's really, really slow. If I don't know if it's once you get so many points spent or something, or what it is, but once you if you don't have something training, it drops to ridiculously low. You lose a lot of points. So always make sure you're training something. Like if I have the nanopack upgrades and I cancel out of it and I go train something else, I don't lose the progress in nanopack upgrades, right? I'll still come back. I can still continue it on from ever. Those points stay in there. That progress always stays on that skill, so I can come back to it. So don't worry about like canceling something and going to work on something else. Now, stuff that I highly recommend as a new player. Nanopack upgrade is very, very important. Nanopack optimization is important, right? Because that's less mass on your person, more space that you can carry, stuff like that. So if I actually go into my eye screen here, you'll notice I have I can carry 4,000 liters, right? That's all I can carry. So as soon as I get done with that, I'll be able to carry 4,200. So the more you can carry on your backpack, the better, obviously the better are. Storage in this type of game is always king, right? Another one, primary container augmentation. Primary container augmentation is very important. So what I can do is I can go over to this box. I can right click on it. I can say set as link container. And then if I go in here and I say link container and I hit this little chain link guy over here, turn that yellow, this now becomes my primary container. Okay. So if I go out here, I go to my mining tool, right? I go to the surface rocks. Notice I have 20 liters, right? So now that 20 liters shows up here. This is my backpack. This is the things on my base. Now, if I go too far away from my base, where's my best? All right, nanopack is now my active container. Your link container is out of range. So you have a limited range. You can improve that range. And then as soon as I get close enough back to it, basically it becomes my link container again. And then I start dropping stuff into that inventory. Now, if you have, say you want to build something, right? And you have that active, and I go into my menu here to start building stuff, I'll actually pull stuff out of that container and drop stuff back into that container. And if you're building stuff in your crafting menu, like pocket crafting, like Infactorio, crafting on your vehicle, like Satisfactory, stuff like that, most of those games only craft while you're online. You have to be online. This game, if you have a bunch of stuff queued to craft, so you're like, hey, I want to add a bunch of stuff, or I want to build something tomorrow when I come in, you can queue a bunch of stuff up. As long as you have all the stuff that you need to make it, when you log back in, as long as the time is passed correctly, that stuff will just be setting your inventory. All right, so back to F2. So nanopack upgrades is almost done. So the ones I highly recommend personally as, hey, this is the ones I would build if this was going to be my primary character. Nanopack upgrades are very important. Nanopack optimization, pretty important. Primary container, like those two are probably the most important in this screen. Nanopack upgrades, primary container augmentation, very important. Okay, because that's going to give me more inventory I can hold myself when I'm away from my containers, and the further away from my containers I can get, the better off I am. So I have that one, and then I have stock control. If you look at nanopack upgrades, right, plus 5% nanopack value. Notice I need nanopack level 5 in order to be able to open that. Container optimization gives you wrong one. Primary container advanced documentation, 10% primary range. So you can increase your range, My main character is like 1,600 meters or something. I can use those containers. All right, so inventory management, very important. Mining unit, if you're wanting to go down that path, calibration chart efficiency. No, efficiency is pretty good to have. Minus 21%, because basically it reduces the amount of time it takes you to get another point. so you can get more and more points and save those up to be able to calibrate more and more miners. So that was good for that. Some of the other ones, you can have friends come in and kind of do things for you. Equipment manager, the refuel tool. I don't know if that's super important. The repair tool, especially if you're me and you're like crashing your ship, the repair tool is very important because that allows you to fix things faster. Architect, core unit upgrades. So you start and you can have 10 cores. And you're like, oh, 10 cores, that's, that seems like a lot. I've already used 2. No, technically I've used 3. I've already used 3 cores already, and I started. Like, that's all I've done is 3 cores. So because I have the drop ship, my station, and then the ship I deployed. So I already have 3. I have another ship that I can deploy, then I have another small core. I'm already at 5. So each one of these adds 3 to your max core units up to 15. These add +5 for each level, so another 25. And this add +10 to each one. So maximum you can have 100 cores to yourself. And then the static core unit expertise, the higher you go up in here. So small. So basically level 1 is extra small, small, medium, and large core. There's no extra large. And then this is the being able to place dynamic cores. So those are important. Avatar is also important as a new player. +5 walking speed, +10% run speed, 10% ground jetpack speed, right? A bunch of this stuff. So now that being said, I've told you guys hey, this is what you should do. I'm going to do something completely different and go down a different path. So the reason I'm going down a different path is because this is my alt. And I want to be able to do things with industry. So I can actually give this character permissions to my factory and then have them come in and basically boost my factory. So I'm going to basically come in here and do like industry efficiency. Actually, I want to do I'm going to basically max this one out. The small, medium, large, I would get a lot of yeah, so this is -2% traffic time put down. So you'll notice, like, already, like I just did that. That's 3 days. And technically, like, if I was smart, I would just go to like the 2 out or the level 3. Like, I would get to level 3 first, and then come back and then try to push to level 4 and level 5. So that's another, basically 6 hours. So I'll be able to do that. So at least my assembly excesses, I'll be able to do those. So chemical efficiency, metalwork, I have a lot of metalworking. I have a decent amount of those. I'm actually going to the electronics industry efficiency. I'm probably just going to buy these. It is electronics, yeah. So basically, my factory's having some problems. I'm trying to make some electronic stuff in there, and it's being expensive. So I'm gonna do that one, or basically I'm gonna buy these. So we bought those. So those are bought now. So metalworking, that one's good. Chemical industry, I'm not super worried about right now. I'll come back and get that. So then industry efficiency, handling, right? Electronic industry efficiency. Now the way that these work too, right? So I have some of these skills on my main character, and some of those things are applied when I put this stuff down. And this guy is obviously going to be better at electronics than my primary. So what will happen is when I come in and apply my talents, it will go through and check all the talents, and if the original talents that are applied to the building are better, it will leave those alone. But if the ones I'm trying to apply are better, it will apply the new ones. So I just kind of get the best of everybody. So I'll wait on. So assembly efficiency, so we already have that kind of scheduled. So, and then you'll notice like, I'm not worried about combat element, industry, basic industry, and industry element. Oh, okay. So those are basic character elements. Is that all industries? I'm still learning myself. So most of the ones I'm worried about are basic industries because almost everything I have in my building is basic. I have a few uncommon. Piloting, industry, and efficiency. System. Basic system. Okay, so and then this basically, so the proficiencies allow you to open different levels. So that allows you to place items, right? So if you want to be able to place chemical buildings or whatever, you need that. So you notice I'm just basically going to level 3 right now. So that should give me a decent amount. But in order to be able to place these buildings, you have to have this stuff be able to get queued up. Now, going down manufacturing to do things is very expensive, very time consuming, and very difficult. So if you do want to go down it, like trying to build stuff like building a nitron factory or building, a Turgon factory or something like that, like that's not super involved. But once you start getting into crazy stuff like trying to build like data cores and stuff like that, it can get very complicated. And like if I go back to my other base and hit Q, you'll see there's pink lines everywhere. Not Q, but the connection tool. You'll see pink lines everywhere. It's very complicated, very, very confusing. All right, so I have 6 days worth of stuff queued up, and then you'll see I'll probably find some more points to spend here in a little bit, but I just want to try to get some stuff in, especially for electronics, because if I can get electronics, and then I think if I go, let me go back here. Say The game does very well at trying to explain, like, how to use things and where to use them and what to do and how things work. How fuck the hell? So you see, like this thing. If I go up here and hit H on it, right? It's not where I want. That's not. All right. So if I look up. So that's a basic electronics there. So if I go up here and look at this, right? So if I right click on it and tell it to inspect item, you'll notice here it gives me a lot of information. It's a tier 1. It's a basic electronics industry. It does this stuff. But impacting talents, right? So if I open impacting talents, you'll see electronics industry effectiveness is maxed out. So you'll see basic industry, right? Electronics industry, basic industry, infrastructure, element, hit points. I don't care about hit points. I don't care about hit points. Electronics industry proficiency. So basically, it looks like the 3 that I put points into. So electronics, basic industry, infrastructure, element, industry, right? So those 3 talents all work on it. So basically, if I put stuff on here, it should speed it up quite a bit, which I will do later. But I have to get my guy to where I'm going. All right, so let me go ahead and escape. Shift it. Oh, got it. Escape. So if you run up to, if you're worried about what talents actually affect something, look at it, right click on it, go to inspect it. It will tell you which elements actually function on that piece of equipment. So same thing I can do here. I can run up, look at this engine, right click on it, inspect item, impacting talents, and these are the talents I need to do to, if I want to make that thing run as efficiently and as powerful as I can, those are the talents I need to work on. And their talents affect everything. All right, so now we're here. Now, this is my beginning speeder, right? I'm going to go in here. I'm going to look at some stuff. Hit B. Notice up here you have this nice little bar, this builder helper that doesn't really show you a bunch of stuff. I can click on this guy here. This tells me the creator's affiliate. DRM is disabled. As a control unit, yes. The CCS capacity is the combat core strength. It's basically how many points of damage this thing can take before the core explodes. Remark list, right? Insufficient space, low altitude lift. Insufficient space forward thrust, insufficient high altitude lift. So it's got craft high altitude lift and no space lift. It weighs 3.5 tons, so that's a good thing to know. Elements, you notice here, this will give me a list of every element that is in here. What I'm specifically looking for here, and I can kind of look out here in a second. So I have 1 engine, 2 engines. Okay, so there's 2 engines, 3 engines. Okay, so I only have 3 engines. I have no storage box. And I only have 1 fuel tank. So, since I only have 1 fuel tank, 3 engines, I weigh less than 20 tons. I have no cargo boxes, no space engines, right? I can look at it. I can hit Alt-B. I already have a compacted construct. Okay, so if I go over here to my inventory box, and I take this construct out of my inventory, because basically this is the refer friend ship that you get. If you place that one, you cannot recompact it. It has a storage box on it. So then I go back up here and look at it again, hit Alt-B. I pick the ship up. Okay, as long as it has less than 3 atmospheric engines, only has 1 fuel tank, no storage boxes, weighs less than 20 tons, and no space, can't have a second fuel tank, no rocket booster, stuff like that. But as long as, it has to be an extra small core. It can only be an extra small core. But as long as you have that stuff, I now have a ship in my pocket. You should always have a pocket ship. right? Because then if I get trapped someplace or something happens, I die, I crash my ship and die, I have a pocket ship which will respawn with you, and you can take said pocket ship to another place. Okay, so we're gonna pocket ship here real quick. So I'm gonna equip it. Sometimes so if this happens and you're like, what the hell, like invalid element, like where's my ship at? Hit I. It has to be in your active inventory. So hit unchain it, and then it will show up. I promise you, you will do that probably several times because I do it on a regular basis. All right, so back in here real quick. Look at this thing. This thing's orange. It says insufficient high altitude lift. So right now my brake thrust is 8.35 Gs. That's good. You want over 4 Gs. You want over 4 Gs of braking thrust. And that's fully loaded with everything in it. You want over 4 Gs of braking thrust. That allows you to come up and stop and then basically float down and not die. Low altitude lift, you want that to be over whatever the gravity of the planet is. So 3 Gs is good. High altitude lift, you want that over whatever the gravity of the planet is. 0 Gs, bad. This means this ship will not fly. Alright, so with that, what we can do is we can go in here. Look, some of the buildings, if you start with a pilot building, it will have some stuff in it. So that's a bed up there. Like the pilot building has a few extra engines in it and wings in it. It does not look like this building starts with that. So I have no extra wings. Does not that way. Yeah, so I have no extra wings. I have a fuel tank. And it doesn't start with a gas fuel tank either, or a space fuel tank. So the pilot one, the one that had the little runway on it, it had, I think it had a few like wings or stabilizers, a few extra engines, adjusters like laying in the garage. It also had a space engine, or a space fuel tank, I mean. So I think in the beginning that may be the better way to go, because this one, like, I'm sure this has got other stuff in it that may be useful. Like it's got extra seats, which aren't super useful. And this one comes with more storage boxes, but they're extra small storage boxes, and nobody likes those. So I can't show you what I was going to show you, but if you have extra wings, you can stuff wings on this thing, and you can make it fly, which I highly recommend you do. So if you need to, you can go in here, type in wing. And you want actual like wing XS or S, and you can actually queue all this stuff up. Like I don't have anything to build things with right now, so I can't really do it. But it is, you can like delve down and say, oh, I need iron and carbon. Okay, easy enough. So if I run over here with this guy, this is coal rock, so that will be carbon. So the bright blue is carbon. This orange is bauxite, so that's aluminum. This one is coal. This one should be quartz, so silicon, bauxite, and then the bright yellow one is iron. And you'll see little clusters of these all over your map. So as you run around, there's a lot. You can get a lot. And then this is malachite, or limestone and malachite. So the limestone is orange and malachite is green. So this is tier 2 stuff. But you need it to, you can actually build a space crew. So you can run around and grab stuff like that, and then once you do this, what's wrong? Then I can go to pure iron. Once I get 65 liters of hematite, then I can refine that. So basically I do that, I tell it to add it to queue, and then I start building a queue. And then so I feel like, okay, build the iron. Okay, build this, then I got build the coal. and then you can back click and left click forward and backwards as you can through the nested windows to be able to build what you need to build. Or another option is just go buy it. If you hold space, you'll hover a little bit higher. So especially if you have like a hill or something coming up, you can hold space and kind of cause it to bring that nose up to keep from crashing. You will take damage if you run into stuff with your ship. Oh, that may help you. Oh no, I have them not here. Never mind. All right, so let's say you're trying to be like, oh, I want to get up there on the dock. So a couple things to know about this area. First of all, come in, go ahead, hold your brakes, go ahead and slow down. Once you get stopped, press and hold F, you can get out. Short time parking area. So if you leave your ship here for 7 days, it becomes unclaimed. Somebody else can claim your ship. Looking on the back here, we have stabilizer excesses. So you can actually go into build mode, take this stabilizer off, and I can move it wherever I want. Let's rotate. Push arrow keys, I can move it around and bring it in and out. I can get it lined up where I want to, and then I basically turn that stabilizer into a wing, and it will allow the ship to fly. Alright, but I'm here, so I'm going to hit Alt B, pick my ship up. Alright, so basically I've gone to Market 6 here. And now we're Market 6 on Haven. And this is the stores up here. You can go buy these stores, ships, but they need help. Straight out of the box, like you're going to crash it. So this is somebody else's ship. You see this unclaimed in 5 days. So if this person doesn't come back in 5 days, their ship become unclaimed, because if you leave it parked on this thing for more than 7 days, it basically unclaims it to clear the landing pad. This is the shuttle. Same thing, it looks at place on all the shuttles. So we're on Haven right now. So I can either go to Alioth or I can go to Sanctuary. I'm going to go to Alioth. So we're hour and 45 minutes. I'm already going to another planet. So, and then, like I said, the plan is the reason we're streaming at 1080p at 60 frames today is we plan on setting this up so that this is on beyond the YouTube, so that if y'all want to go back and watch it, or hopefully people can find it and learn, you'll have some thought process of what's going on, of how the game functions and works. All right, so now I'm at Alioth. And if you come in and you don't see all this stuff, especially if you're on a slower connection, it will take a while for the voxels. Just, you can come stand at the edge and just kind of wait for a little bit, and it will eventually load. It's loading a lot of voxels and stuff. So you come out of the shuttle station, and right here, this is this tells me I'm at 6. So the back here is at 6. If you're on a slow connection, they're basically arranged 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So as I go into the map here, on Alioth, those stations are all clumped together in this cluster, right? And you can kind of go to wherever you need to on there. So all the ones out here are only markets that are scattered around the planet. But all the stations are actually kind of there. So, but the Market 6 on Haven corresponds to Market 6 on Alioth, and corresponds to Market 6 on Sanctuary. So if you need to, and you start at Market 6 on Haven, and you're buying something at Market 10 on Sanctuary, you can go to Alioth, go to 10, then go to Sanctuary, pick up what you need, back to Alioth 10, transfer back to 6, transfer back, and then you get back to your base. All right, so if we're on Alioth 10, and then I have to trying to find my actual base because it's way. I think that's it right there. So this is so Columbia guy. So I can actually set this as my destination, and then look at the. Oh wait, it's on the exact opposite side of the planet. It's gonna be a minute. So I can do that. I can go jump on my speeder, book out there, and eventually make it. It would take me a hot minute to get there. So another random person. Not showing up. Oh, here's somebody's thing. So this is somebody's speeder that they've left here too long. So basically it's decayed in 29 hours. So I can run up to it. I can go into build mode. I can go to 2. I basically, my voxel tool, I hold control and scroll up. Once I do that, I can do that, and it will remove all the voxels from the ship for me. Once I do that, then I can go to this, and I can pick up, so it's the damage that they corrected. So this way I can pick up everything from the ship and just kind of salvage it out. If I wanted to, like some of these things, like the big thing I was worried about is the those 2 stabilizers. So, and anybody, this is basically open for anybody to do it. Most people aren't going to bother with this ship because it's not good amount of stuff. But for somebody that just popped into the game that doesn't have wings or stabilizers or stuff like that, like it's a great help, right? So the only thing I'll say is when you get done with that, so we're going to back out of this thing. We're going to go to our deployed construct. Nope, not the deployed construct. We're going to go to our deployed element. Deploy ground element. I'm going to go to deploy ground element. I'm going to hold down Alt again. I'm going to pick up that. Right? So now that box is gone, and if somebody else comes by later, they're not going to fly over and see the mark as they're flying over. And it just destroys it. All right, so and then if I go in here and hold down Alt V, unclaimed constructs, so they'll actually show up for me with that gray black thing. You can turn that on and off. So as you drive around and stuff, you'll be able to see stuff. All right, and you'll see different people. Like this is Market 6 and Alien. Right. Oh, this is District 6. That's right. Market 6 is over there. So you'll see there's somebody else's racer. So then as you come in here too, if you want, you can come up here. So if you do want that racer like I just picked up and you want the blueprint, come into the hub here. And this used to be the beginning newbie area. And then they kind of moved this to where we are now. So I can go here to this thing. That gives me one collected blueprint, right? So the blueprint, if I click on it, this is everything I need to be able to place it. So this is a speeder blueprint. I can also get a speeder blueprint. So this is what the speeder looks like, which is the one I just picked up. Hey, stop fighting yourself. And then this is the racer blueprint. Right. They use the exact same stuff. What? Go down. Oh, you're so bored. Such a hard life. I know. I don't know how you survive so long. I know. Please lay down. I love it. So they're the same thing. Just the stuff's kind of organized in different directions and different stuff. Doesn't really matter. And if you go do this, you can do this, and that gives you a bunch of parts, so that you have the parts to be able to place them down. This I think is just info boxes. They kind of tell you more information about stuff. More tutorials, kind of like what the different stuff does, like how to do it, and just some information. And then, like I said, then that way, if nothing else, it gives you. But I don't believe those are not compactable. I believe they do have. I have one fuel tank, so that's good. But they have two. They only have 3 engines, no storage. So they may be compactable, probably are. So if you do need a compactable ship, you can do that. Having a compactable ship is very important. And then if you do come into here and you want a go into our map, notice that the market is actually like 1,500 kilometers away, or 1,500 meters away. So you have to kind of travel over to the market. So, and if we travel over to the market, there's a bunch of stuff over there. So I think that's the big stuff. At least how I would start. So when you start, I would choose whether you want to be a pilot, and I recommend piloting skills. If it's your first character, and your piloting skills are very important because that's going to keep you from crashing your ship and keep you from having to repair your ship. So we'll go back to our F2 here. So if you go into your piloting, basically your basic thrust control, your fuel efficiency. You're using less fuel, you're more thrust out of the same engines, and better responsiveness. You can reduce the amount of time it takes the engines to fire up. Extra small engines fire up almost instantly. When you get to really large engines, you can have like a 25-second lag time, where you turn the engine on and it's like, yeah, I'll get to that later. And with these talents, you can actually reduce that lag time. Also make the engine more fuel efficient. You get more lift out of the wings. You get more lift out of hovers. Like, very important stuff in here. So that stuff, radar, PvP stuff. That's up to you if you want to do that stuff. Mining. So you have 3 types of mining. You have the surface mining, which is the little tool that I have that was running around picking up little bitty rocks. You have mining units, which is the mining building there. and you have deep mining like asteroids, right? So those are surface mining, are the tool that you have that you run to get surface rocks. Miner is, I believe, yeah, mining is your scanner and like looking for ores underground on asteroids. And then mining unit manager is the mining units. So you have 3 different types of mining. So figure out which way you want to go, which one you want to do, and so that way, because if you can work on all of them at once and slowly bring everything up, it's just going to take longer to be good at something. So like the thing alluded to earlier, you can be a jack of all trades and a master of none, or you can master something. But mastering a skill can take you months. It can take you, like, even PvP weapons. To really master a PvP weapon could take you a year. Industry, crafting is all your crafting or extraction or refining. So this stuff is all like how productive, like your honeycomb, basic scrapping, advanced scrap refining. And you need scrap to repair your ship when you crash it, especially if you let me drive it, because I crash it. I'm not very good at crashing stuff. Ammo. So you can kind of go through here. There's like even like weapons. So like, let's go look at like a large railgun. Right, so a large railgun, action hint, right? Railgun L damage when put down, right? So basically more railgun damage. Well, I need railgun M to do that, right? And then railgun M, I need railgun S and railgun M, right? So if I want to go back to railgun, back to 5, like I need railgun M4 to be able to do 5. Then I need railgun. So it could take a while to get through a bunch of this stuff. So if you want to go a railgun L, you may have to train M up halfway, S up halfway, XS up halfway. It's, and that's with all these skills because they're all tiered. So it's important if you want to do PvP, you want to start on that soon. The sooner the better. And you can always be able to put down your. You have permissions to deploy constructs while you're on the marketplaces and hubs. So I have this guy here. So I have this, and I need means, right? So I'm going to go a couple things here. So I want to go here. I want to show high altitude stuff, right? So if I do that, you notice it stays there. If I do this, I open this, and I go to stabilizer. I'm going to equip the stabilizer. Notice not. So notice like here, I have no lift because this thing's vertical. But if I turn it into, I now have 1.81 Gs of lift, right? So I still have 1.81 Gs of lift. I have 1.81. And then as soon as I go over 45-degree angle, that lift goes away. So you can kind of see like what I have and where, if I put things here like, oh, I'm going to get 1.81 Gs of lift there. Well, if I stick this thing vertical, I have no lift. If I stick it at a 45-degree angle, I have 1.81 Gs. Do I get something different if I put it down here? So you see 1.1 Gs. but I get 2 Gs if it's straight out. So depending on where you put this thing, you're going to get different lift values, and it updates real time, so it lets you know whether that's a bad plan to put that thing. Now, another screen that you should have too when you're doing this thing is the axis rotations. So you have torque. So these are so if you don't know what roll, pitch, and yaw are, right? So if you have a ship that is flying at you, right, and the ship turns about, so you have an axis that runs this way, right? That's going straight through it. This is your roll pitch. You have an axis that goes straight up. This is your so this is roll. This one's pitch, right? So your nose up and down's pitch, and then the one that goes through, this is your yaw, right? So it's your turn. So roll, pitch, and yaw. Very confusing. Like I know what I'm talking about, and I still get confused about it. And then this matrix here. So this matrix is a little bit weird. So what this matrix is it's your roll, pitch, and yaw combined to get your roll, pitch, and yaw, right? So the trick to this one is you want these numbers in the middle as high as you can get them. As high as you can get them, the better, within reason of your ship, obviously. The higher those numbers are, the better. The 6 numbers on the outside, so these 3 here and these 3 down here, you want those as close to 0 as you can get them. You don't want them negative, you want them as close to 0. So if they are negative, that's fine, as long as they're close to 0. So you see 0.27, 0.03, and 255. So now if I go back in here, reduce this thing, and you'll see as I move this cursor around on different places of the ship, you see that it's adding, that number is kind of bouncing up and down. So if you look, like there's minus 19 right there, right? So I saw minus 38 there for a second, minus 40, right? So if I do that, and I put him there, so that gives me minus 40. But now I've obviously balanced those things, so that's going to be a problem, right? So I can actually lower that number and bring that number back closer to 0 and try to keep, but now the other one's negative 14. It's a balancing act, right? And if I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that, hit backspace, it removes it, and undoes changes. This guy here. All right, so now I've done that. This doesn't always work, so I'm gonna hit U, and then I'm gonna kind of come over here and try to get this thing in the same location. And it says it's in the same location, but that doesn't always mean that it's gonna have the same angle and everything else, right? So now I've put that on there. Now I have 3.47 Gs of high altitude lift. So I'll actually be able to fly this thing by just putting 2 stabilizers on it. And honestly, I could have put 1 stabilizer on it. The other thing to know when you're building these things too is so that the roll, pitch, and yaw I was talking about with the different axes, those lines right there, those are those axes. So that's your roll, pitch, and yaw axis. That's when your ship rotates, it's rotating around that spot. All right, so we are other things we can do too. So now, so this was set as a hovercraft. It's no longer a hovercraft. So I'm going to go to my seat. I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to tell it to run default auto config. You can make it a PvP seat, ECU control unit, a flying construct, or a ground construct. We're going to change it to a flying construct. So now it changes the way it works. It doesn't work as a hovercraft anymore. Now it will work as a plane. So you can pitch up and pitch down, and it goes up. And instead of holding W, you can set your throttle with your mouse, with your scroll wheel, and then basically allow it to go a little bit further. So I'm going to jump in here. Turn, orient myself. Now I can hold my brake I can kind of angle up. I can give myself some power and then release. And if I do that, then what will end up happening is it will kind of slowly build up speed. The engines will get to power, and once this kind of gets enough to take off, enough speed to get lift, will actually lift. And that suspension speed, 273 kilometers, is basically how many kilometers, what speed I need to get this thing off the ground. Really? This thing sucks. What's the max speed? What the heck is going on with this thing? It's like, I don't know what's going on with it. It doesn't want to go up. It didn't have plenty of lift. It's slowly climbing. Okay. Let's close these things up. Evidently, I should have put more engines on it. Or at least larger engines. Alright. So, like I said, the important things are that organizations, I have no applications right now. I can search for organization, right? So I can do this. I can go search for Palmetti. Gaming. Application. You can join up to 5 organizations at one time. So if you want, don't be worried about like, oh, I don't know if I want to join an organization. You can make one for yourself. You can put all your own constructs in it. You can have one with your friends. So you have a small one that just like a mine that you and your friends run, and then you can go join a large organization, and then still be able to interact. So you can join up to 5 organizations at one time, and all the organizations have unlimited members. Mr. Destroyer, thank you for the host, my friend. How are you doing today? I don't know if you're here, if that was an auto. Uh-oh. And hi, how are you doing? Can I help you? Yeah, well, you should thank somebody for that. Well, it answers her question. What, you think you deserve 2? All right, look, we're going to have to stop giving you 2 at a time soon. I had to have a metal box to put the treats in because they like getting. That is my finger you're trying to eat. It is not a treat. That's it. I'm out now. I'm out. I don't have any more. How you doing today? Hey, stop that. All right. That is more consistent today. So that was Syndromika that flashed on the screen there too. Anybody that was looking for? The finger has the spices of the treat, so this has to be licked clean. It does. Not only that, but evidently I need a shower, because I always need a shower when it comes to my doggos. They try to get. This thing, it's just not going very fast. Yeah, long days. Yeah, I feel those. I feel that, man. I've had like 3.5 days off. I actually got to go to work today. It's crap. I don't like it. But yeah, so like I said, make sure you guys are doing your tutorials. Make sure you're doing go into the surrogate pod, do your tutorials, because that gives you money, that gives you points. Make sure you're going to do what you can do. If you have extra order, make sure you're selling it to the bots. There's bot accounts made by the affiliate. And when you're flying around on the surface, watch out for these crazy things. So this is a tower that somebody's built to basically get to HG height, or anti-gravity generator height. And sometimes there's no warning, so you'll just fly into it. Yeah, we talked about it earlier, but go into your graphics. Make sure I would drop your number of threads down. You can drop your decor display distance down and your voxel quality down, and then turn all this crap off. And all this stuff I'm flying over is all player built. This is all player built. It's the game in and of itself is it's crazy. Yeah, it's like I said, I posted in the Discord the settings I run on my laptop. I just copied the screen from my laptop and just put it in. So, and granted, my laptop's not horrible, but it is a laptop. And then, so like I said, if you guys aren't playing the game, you want to make an account. Very, very important. Find a refer a friend link. Use the refer a friend link. If you want to use my refer a friend link, you're more than welcome to. I'm grateful to have you. But use a refer a friend. The benefits that I get from it pale in comparison. That 1,000,000 points, like I basically was able to max out some of the electronic skills for the factory that I'm building. So I'm actually on the way down to take this guy to my factory to kind of get that stuff going. So unfortunately, the last bit of and part of this is this shows you how large this world is too. Like it's ridiculously large. Like each one of these little squares I'm passing through is a kilometer. And hell, the 22 questions. I may try to land up here on this island or this land. See if I can add more engines. Either that or I'll have to have Pete come get me. I'd come get myself, but it makes it difficult to log into multiple accounts on the same computer. I haven't tried that yet. One game running is bad enough. I don't know what multiple games would do. Let me get down here in a second. I'm going to land. I'm going to throw more engines and see if that helps. They have some more extra small engines. No, I'm on Alias. I'm heading towards the headquarters. And then friend request brings up another important thing here. If you do accept somebody's friend request, know that they can track. So if you accept somebody and you're in PvP area, they can track you in the PvP area. So if you accept an invite from some, random stranger, and then start getting ganked in PvP, look how that happens. Well, actually, if you're going to head this way, I don't know if I should add more angles to this thing. So I'll have to pick this off.
Do it anyway. You can,
That's true.
show it on stream and on YouTube.
So I gotta be careful where I put them because this is a break right here, and if I put this engine here, it's gonna break that break. And then there's adjusters on top of that one. If you're trying to get below your dip and you can't get to the bottom of it, go in here to this maneuver tool. Grab it. You can, as long as you're standing on land, it will just kind of place it wherever, and it will hold there. So once I do that, then I can do this. Then once I do that, I need to go to my link tool. See how they're blinking orange? When I do this, I got to connect it to the fuel tank. If it doesn't connect to the fuel tank, like you don't have to connect to the fuel tank. Once I get into the seat, if there's any engines that aren't connected to a fuel tank, they'll just auto connect them to whatever the closest fuel tank is. But if you have some crazy design of how you want stuff to be put together, you probably want to do that on your own. Like when you only have one fuel tank, it's not as big of a deal. But when you have multiple fuel tanks and you want, like, your hover's connected to one, and you want to have your so by adding those in, we that's another 100 kilometers an hour already. So we're going a little faster. The other thing, especially on Alioth, anything that has a decent atmosphere, or anything with atmosphere, you do not want to go over 1,050 meters or kilometers per hour. If you go over 1,050 kilometers per hour, you'll start burning up in the atmosphere and you'll start destroying parts. So this one, like all that stuff on the front, like the hover engine, I think those are antennas or something sticking out. But that engine in the front, all that stuff, if I start going too fast, it will start burning that up. Like that, the retro engine in the front and that hover pad will start taking damage, so it can actually break them. So be careful, especially. Yeah. Well, there's ways to do it where you can break that. Like there's people that have ships that will do well in excess of 2,000 kilometers per hour. Serapis built a ship on stream last night that would do over, it would do 2,000 kilometers per hour. And you can do that by putting voxels out in front of it, because the voxels will start taking the heat. And it only damages so far back, and voxels don't take damage. Well, at least damage from the heat. But then it's kind of a, where does it happen? So, but I've almost doubled my speed by adding some more engines. And basically doubled my engines, almost doubled my speed. And if I had like explosions, that's what could go wrong. Supersonic rockets near the surface, explosions. That's what happens. But yeah, so you can kind of do some stuff. You can. The other problem you have too is like this one may not do it, but like I can actually get far enough up that this thing may be able to break atmosphere. I shouldn't have enough thrust to get myself out, but if you have something with enough thrust, you can get out of the atmosphere with it, and you could get yourself into a position where you have so much more momentum that you just can't get back down. So it's important to put a space brake on really fast equipment. So yeah, especially if you start getting something that's starting to get super fast speeds in it, putting a space brake on it is even if you don't intend on it going to space, not necessarily a bad thing. Watched a guy on stream. He made something that would do well in excess of like 2,000 kilometers per hour, and basically got a little bit too high and it just out into space. Ah! And he couldn't stop it because he didn't put a space brake on it. But yeah, so there's lots of stuff in here and lots of things to do. There's the building survival, the building your base, building stuff inside of your base, stuff like that. I'm hoping to get down here. It's going to be close. Yeah, whether Pete actually can make it to me because I'm way the hell up here. Found out Pete also with the HUD that we're using. If you go up to like a higher altitude, like 6,500 meters, and you lock the altitude at that point, it basically will put you into an orbit path, and it will basically get you at the right speed and altitude to basically have your ship orbit. And so I was coming to Market 6 from the base, got up into that, locked the orbit in, and I think it gained maybe a couple of 100 meters, and the entire time it took me to orbit around the planet. So I was
Might
able
have
to
worked for you. I've just avoided burning up.
Oh, that's not good.
Because it decided to do a U-turn and then decided to touch the atmosphere.
Oh, that's not
at 4,000
nice of it. Yeah, I did it at like 6,000. I didn't. If you try to do it close to the atmosphere, it doesn't like it. Especially if you're trying to transition out of it. Like it doesn't seem to want to. Like if you take off from the planet, it doesn't like going to 6,000. I noticed it would get to like the 4,000, 4,500, and it couldn't break through the transition by itself.
Well, my problem was that I leveled out and I was fine, and then I hit the button to,
That's not
keep
nice
it there, and it decided to start doing U-turns up and down, progressively getting worse.
Oh, that's not. Yeah. It gets a little squirrely when it first starts because it's trying to figure out what it's doing. Like I said, obviously we'll be uploading this to YouTube, and I kind of wanted to go through that stuff in the beginning, and we went through it at the very beginning of the title or the stream here. But we'll have links down to join the Discord. We'll have links to the Twitch channel where I stream. We'll have my Refer a Friend account, my Zillow account, or link for if you want to use that to use my affiliate link for that. That's great. I'll put my Humble Bundle link down there. So if you guys want to go buy stuff from Humble Bundle, you can do that. That helps support the channel and stuff like that too. If you are watching this on YouTube, I do appreciate it. I'm trying something new, trying to see if that will work, see if what we can do. My big thing here is I'm not like, I would love to stay home and play video games and do that for a living. Is that really a thing that you can do? I don't know. There's so much competition. Like, I'm not worried about it. What I'm worried about is raising money for Texas Children's Hospital, primary buildings there. Doing the work for Extra Life, building the community, having a group of people that enjoy playing this type of game, that they can come and we just want to play. We just want to have fun. You know, there's no drama. We don't want drama. I don't want, obviously, politics and stuff like that. I get a little soapboxy every once in a while, but my political stands are treat everybody with respect, treat everyone as an equal, and I hate politicians. And that's not one side or the other. I just hate all politicians. All of them. They all suck. So, as long as, as long as, we're treating everybody with respect and we're having a good time and we're not hurting anybody, I'm fine with that. Just let's have fun. Let's have fun. Let's play some games. Let's escape reality. Let's pretend like this sucky years that's been going on for the past 4 years isn't bad. Nice. That is a few hours there, Mr. Stroyer. So, so anyway, so if you guys do want to go and watch this stuff, my YouTube channel's been pretty much dead for years. When I first started, I was doing stuff for indie devs, trying to help out some indie devs, and I kind of got burnt by not really by the dev. I got burnt by the composer of the music in the song. Oh, I'm sure he does. I think the only persons that beat is myself and my bot. And we don't count. But I got three DMCA strikes on one video for information that are for songs that were part of the song or part of the playlist in the game. And nothing against the developer. The developer worked with me, and not even against the composer of the music. It was, or the artist. It was the music label for the artist that claimed them. And so I didn't end up with any strikes on my account from it, and so I deleted the video. I'm like, screw you guys. And honestly, I stayed away from YouTube for a very long time because of that. Since then, I've gone to Pretzel Rocks, and using Pretzel Rocks as a way to get music. And the stuff you're hearing in the background is Pretzel Rocks. I'll have a link for that also. Actually, I need to reactivate my subscription to them, because using it on YouTube, I want to make sure I'm contributing to the artist. I want to, like, it's a great service. If you're a streamer or on YouTube or something like that, seriously, go check out Pretzel Rocks. Like, it's amazing. It's all DMCA free music that you can use for creation. There's a license to it so that you can make videos on YouTube, you can make videos on Twitch without DMCAs. If you do have a DMCA, it's good music. Like, it's not bad. Like, we've been listening to EDM music all day. Like, I really like Pretzel. But it's all DMCA free music, so if you are a content creator, it's stuff that you can use, and that you can read through the license to find out, if your exact usage of it is covered. But it's all allowed to use it on, YouTube and as background music and stuff like that still. And then if you do get a DMCA on it, they have a form you go fill out, and if you basically fill out the form and then submit it to YouTube, submit it to Pretzel, and then Pretzel looks into why it was falsely claimed and works to get the claim removed. So that way, it makes life a whole lot easier instead of having to try to pick and choose and roll the dice to find out which songs are. What's that?
Please land, because the waypoint doesn't update fast enough for me to find you.
Oh, okay. I am the landing. And removing the... So, and all I did was I powered down my engines, and I'm holding control. As long as you have over 4 Gs of braking force, you can land like this.
No, I bounced. Okay, bounced. Whew. Sorry, it had a lag moment there.
Oh.
And,
Lag is not up.
yeah. I slammed into the ground, then I stopped slamming into the ground.
Ah. Oh, there comes Pete. But yeah, so I can't recommend Pretzel enough. Like, honestly, they're great. It gives me music in the background I can listen to, the stream can listen to, and at the same time, like, I've had one DMCA with them, or actually I had a few DMCA, but it was one song. And I don't know if they removed the song from rotation or if they...
Break, please. Thank you.
Well, you hit the ground, that will break you. Get it.
I need to reboot the thing. You have permission to do everything. So, dock your ship. Or,
I already picked it up.
Oh, well, get in.
Is there a button in here I need to do to close the door?
Nope, just get out of the range of it.
Well, this
Or
is
did you
Pete's
hit the
ship.
button?
I hit the button on the way in because it wouldn't open the gate.
Oh, double tap. Always double tap.
So this is Pete's VMAX. This was made by Loaded Industry. So you can see he's got, a handful of seats. He's got a bunch of cargo. I think he'll carry 14 kilotons and he can still escape alley off with it. Are you off?
Do not enter build mode. I repeat, do not enter build mode.
Yeah. And as long as I don't go into build mode, I can stay on the ship as it flies around. So this is the big thing that I really like about this game. It's like Space Engineers, but we can play it together. So now Pete's actually flying a ship, right? So I'm walking around down here. If I go down into my fuel tanks, I could go in, and if I had fuel, I could put fuel into his tanks for him. I could, if something broke, I could repair it for him. It's like I can go move stuff around his inventories. If I needed to, we could take these. If the center of mass is messed up, I can move his center of mass around for him. I could even go out here to the front and then walk out as long as I stay docked to the ship. As soon as you look up in the top right where it says boarded Emacs, right? If I jump up, I'm still boarded to the Emacs.
Do not walk out. You will fly off.
Yeah. But as soon as you come off of the ship, that boarded block goes away, and then you fly off. But I'm walking around on the ship right now, just looking around, just poking at things, seeing what he's doing. And as long as I stay attached to the ship, I can even stand on the roof as he's flying. And kind of, I can start turn. Oh, I can turn the CPU off for him. That would help. Right? Just start. board. Right. So actually we're up in we're up in space now. So, and if you do go into space, once you break the atmosphere and we get the atmosphere 0%, we can actually speed up. So you're seeing now we're up to 5,000 kilometers, where I was doing 300 earlier. A little faster. So, but Dual Universe, and complete disclosure, I talk about this all the time. Complete disclosure. I backed the game in 2016 on Kickstarter. I paid $400. I bought the digital Root Founder edition. I have 20 decks coming to me when they were released. I backed the game for $400 because if they did half the stuff that they told me that they were going to do, I knew it was a game I wanted to play. And that would give me a lifetime subscription. So I have a lifetime subscription. I don't have to pay for the game. I just get to play it now. And to me, that seemed like a good plan at the time. And I was worried through some of the development of whether that was a good plan, whether or not that made a good plan. Where the game is right now, I feel that I made a good plan. I'm happy with the game. I'm happy with the way it is. I'm happy with how it works. I know some of the PvP guys are not happy about the way the game's working. There are some people that are upset right now about the way the possibility of a wipe. I say possibility of a wipe, not because they haven't decided whether or not they're going to wipe. They're still trying to figure that out. As of recording, and this is June 2nd of 2022, they're trying to figure out whether they need to. They're trying to figure out whether they have to, whether they can fix some of the problems. There's a lot of money on the game. There's some schematic things that people don't like about the building industry that people don't like. There's stuff like that is a problem. The other side of the coin is we have a lot of creators that have built cities and whole freaking factions have taken massive swaths of land and built like literally cities, and all the ships that people have built and all that stuff. And to lose that creative, blueprint would be devastating to the game. If something happens and those creators aren't able to rebuild their stuff quickly, there's going to be a problem. Because you're gonna upset a lot of people, and people may not come back. So right now it's just a discussion. There's nothing set in stone one way or the other. They're still trying to figure out how to do it, how to release it. A release date has not been set. But right now, if you log into the game, the servers are pretty empty because a lot of the people that were playing are currently taking a break because they don't know what's going on with the wipeout. I'm using this time as a learning experience, trying to figure out how to play the game, what is a good plan, what is a good, direction, what's a good use of my time. And trying to figure that stuff out is important. So I'm using this time basically for science, to learn, to find out what ships I like, what ships I don't like, to build or figure out how to build ships, how to build industry, how to things like that. Using that as a stepping stone to learn the game, I don't think it's a waste of my time, and I'm having a blast playing the game. I'm having a blast. Like I helped. Diablo Immortal just come out, like V Rising just come out. Like I haven't even looked at V Rising. I played a little bit in one of the betas, but like prying me away from this game right now is an extremely difficult thing to do. It's just I'm able to play Space Engineers and build big constructs and be able to do things, and that in and of itself is amazing. Because anybody that's played these games before or played Space Engineers, especially with somebody else, you'll know that it doesn't work. Space Engineers on a multiplayer type setting is garbage. The server software for it is horrible, unless you have some massive god tier computer, and even then, with a massive god tier computer, it still probably isn't going to work well. Trying to build some of the towers they built in this game, trying to build just some of the ships in this game, would lag a Space Engineer server completely out. And granted, some of that is our own fault. Like, it's just me and Pete. You can't turn us loose with manufacturing and not expect us to break some stuff. The sad part is that granted, that's only a medium core facility that I've built for manufacturing, but it's a lot of stuff in there. Oh, and you can grab these things randomly and just rearrange them however you want. So, like now, you'll see that I can move it up 2, but I can't move it above that one because there's a requirement. Like this one needs that as a requirement. So since it needs that as a requirement, I can't move it up any higher. I'm gonna move up some of this stuff up to the top because. Moving some of that stuff up because I'm not going to really be able to resist until I probably and then hopefully by then I'll have
Come on, game, settle.
Yeah, so that way I'll be able to knock out like a bunch of the lower stuff here. So that way once I get to work, I'll have, or once I basically can get permissions and everything, I'll have hopefully some of those things kind of knocked out. If I was smart, I'd probably just spend some more of my points on it. But I'm gonna save my points for now. I guess I should get out and stop playing the screen. So now, granted, like in Space Engineers alone, like just this ship in Space Engineers could cause problems. So just the ship by itself would cause problems in Space Engineers. The fact that he's got 2 other ships sitting on his dock, and a warp cell factory over here, and granted, like his isn't Pete's industry isn't as compact as mine for 2 reasons. First of all, it's a much larger facility, and he's not making as many things as I am. So he's making warp cells, which is still a fairly long process, but it's not as in depth as my stuff is, or not as widespread as my stuff is. His is actually more in depth. Mine is more encompassing. So, but honestly, like just that building alone is Space Engineers with as much industry as going on in there, like we would cause massive problems. And part of that is the way stuff is connected in this game. Like Space Engineers, look back to his new programming room. Pete's programming. Thank you for coming to get me, buddy. I appreciate that. And honestly, I could have just set up a thing asking somebody to come pick me up and give me a taxi ride. Like, so I could go in here to the missions, and I could go in here and say, job forum, create job, select type, taxi, okay, taxi title. I need a ride, right? Right, public. I can set it to public, or if I was in a guild, I could do that. Right? How long I want to do it, I could be like, oh, you got to get to me within an hour. I'm done. I'm going to walk. Right, and then I can say how much money I'm going to offer to do it. basically it gives you my position. And then basically I have to, create should be a 0, right? But basically I say, hey, if you give me a ride from here to here, I'll give you this much money. And that opens it up to anybody that's looking for a mission at that point. And then somebody can come in, pick you up. So you could actually just be a taxi service. You could be a courier in the game. And you could put missions in for other people to do, pick up and drop off stuff. Like, where's the post office at? So this is our post office over here. So that Pete had made for us. It's open to the org, so that if you need to, like, people can go pick up stuff and then bring it here and drop it off for us. So I had a bunch of recipes that I needed picked up, and then, I made a job, and Pete went and picked them up, brought them back, and got the money. I needed furniture too. But yeah, so like I said, and then like down here, like honestly, loading this area, if this was Space Engineers and I loaded this, my game would chug. Like it would die. Now granted, it may take a minute for me to load everything down here, but it will load. It doesn't crash the server. Like I haven't opened an inventory yet where it just was like, oh yeah, you're done. Right? Now, if you get a bunch of elements like my factory will cause lag. So it's going to cause lag eventually as things gets more and more items in it. Oh, I can't remember. I need to give myself permission. Let's do this. All right, so and then here, once I get here too, like, so this is the organization, right? So the organization has its own constructs too. Well, I have 10 constructs that I could go into the organization. So I can do this and basically select Plumbing Gaming, and then basically let the organization use those constructs. And then, like, as we look around out here, like most of these you'll see are owned by Plumbing Gaming. So then, as you get better permissions in the guild, I don't think I can actually do it. Yeah, so I can't get into it because I don't have. I'm not an important person in the guild yet. But like honestly, if I had this on any other, like a Space Engineer server, this many just random ships laying around, it would murder it. Like it would just like there's no way it would run. So that's the beginning for Dual Universe anyway. I got through a lot of the stuff. We didn't get into RDMS really yet. So going into RDMS, I wanted to make this character to kind of get that new player experience, to kind of get explain some of the little things, how to kind of start and do things. So because I just wasn't finding a lot of this information out there, or it was old and not 100% accurate anymore. So it's kind of changed. If you guys do have a question, feel free to comment, go on to Discord, ask us there, like whatever you need to do. We're here to help, here to spread information and help people understand the game and be able to play. So if you guys are interested, please come hang out, come say hi, and we'll do that stuff. With that, though, however, it's almost time. Let me see if I can find somebody to go hang out with. So at the end of the stream, I always try to go raid somebody, because it is the good thing to do. All right, people. Well, it looks like Philip and me are the only ones running really today. I think there's anybody else who could go. The party. Not really. I don't see anybody else really out. All right, we'll just raid Philip again. Start hanging out with him. Try to support the community and the other streamers. All right, with that, we're gonna raid Philip. Do me a favor, tell him I said hi, and we will talk to you guys tomorrow. Y'all be safe. Talk to y'all soon.